What happened? What do you think happened?
Well, I'm here today with Commissioner Pare, Chief Clements, Chief Cunha, Director Gaynor. We had an incident over the manhole here at the corner of this intersection that we're investigating at this time. So it created the manhole covers to lift. There was a fire within the manhole, created a few other manholes to lift, and we're exploring right now what caused that particular raising of the manhole covers.
Do you think it's... Oh, sorry.
How many?
There were 8 manhole covers that lifted up, 2 primarily in that intersection right there.
Where were the other ones?
Along the street here. Yep. And we've done a complete search of the area, checking for gas or anything like that. We don't have any readings in the outlying areas. And we've worked with the fire department and all the first responders to set up a perimeter, make sure everything was clear. They brought that down a bit, and we'll still be here doing some repairs on our system.
Do you think carbon monoxide led to this, or?
Well, we're not sure. At this time, we've got to, really investigate what took place. The key was that responding with the city, public safety, making sure everyone was okay, all the first responders were okay, working with the police and fire and the safety commissioner, understanding what's going on, what's the free-flowing information out there. So everyone was aware, we can make the public aware, and then we can address the situation in the manhole.
You said everyone okay. Could this spread and happen in other parts of the city at this time?
No, our system, we constantly monitor that, and we've checked the local area. We do not show any reports of anything else at this particular time. So we really got to investigate what took place within that manhole.
Can you confirm that CO2 or any type of vapors played a role in this?
Well, I'm sure there was some type of vapor. We've had high CO2 readings within the building and within the particular area, but that's really what we've got to dig into and find out what the root cause was here.
But not a gas?
No, we don't see that at this particular time, but we will continue to investigate. Yeah, there's no other gas readings in the area.
Have you turned off anything?
No, our systems are still running, the electric system. There's no power outages within the particular area or any gas issues out there. Everything's still running the way it's designed.
The high CO2 you were saying in the building, was that in 300 Richmond?
Yes, it was. Yep.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
High CO2 reading in 300 Richmond.
It was only in 300?
Yep.
Okay. And that's where the initial call came?
Right, that's where the fire responded, we responded, and started to find out what took place.
What time did you get that initial call?
I'd have to check, but not too sure. I don't know if Chief knows, but...
Just after 11:15 or so?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, was it a call of the smell, or was it a call of, I'm feeling an explosion underneath me?
No,
we got a call of smell in 300 Richmond. Firefighters came. They started looking into the source of the smell, and while we were on scene, some of those manhole covers came off as a result of an explosion.
Were any of the firefighters injured? Anyone injured?
No, there were no firefighters injured. There were 2 pedestrians that were injured slightly. They've been transported, slight injury, and they expect to be fine.
When you say slight injury, were they hit by those manholes?
I don't know what caused the injury, but there were 2 that we transported.
Can you just spell your first and last name?
Yeah, Stephen with a V, P-A-R-E. I'm the Commissioner of Public Safety for Providence.
In terms of a said explosion, was it one explosion? Is explosion the right word? Was it
well, it's the manhole covers lifted basically because of the fire and the pressure within there. So that's what we really got to dig into.
And fire was contained
within one particular manhole. Yep. Yep. And that's over the intersection, and that's where our folks will be getting in there and determining what took place.
So you say the fire was over the intersection of Elm and Richmond?
Yes.
So now, you said there's no disruption to service. Are you rerouting anything? Or
electric service, gas service is still functioning. Yep, everything's still working as normal.
So what does that, under that manhole, what's normally under there? What's the function?
There's all kinds of equipment. That's where we go. There's either cables, transformers. There's all types of electrical equipment, and that's what our folks will get in there and find out really what took place.
Would you call this a chain reaction type event?
Well, it's really, we got to determine what took place. It's some covers lifted due to the fire in the manhole, and we'll find out really what took place.
What's next for this area? Is this area going to continue to be shut down, or are people going to be let go?
A couple of these intersections will be, this main intersection will be shut down to allow us to get in and do our normal repairs. And it's just like any time that we have to do repairs or work within the particular streets, we'll work with the police and the fire department to make sure we have the right protection around there, and they'll reroute the traffic. But it'll just be this that intersection there.
Exactly how many different businesses or homes were evacuated because of this?
Not sure.
Yeah, I don't have the number.
No.
We evacuated in this area, and so we're in the process of determining this place to be safe. It's under control, and people will be allowed back in the building as the repairs go on. So everything is safe, it's under control, and we just ask people to stay out of this area, foot traffic, until we determine it is completely safe for pedestrians and the building. So everything's safe. We'll be allowing employees back into their buildings in a short period of time.
How long do you estimate that might take?
As long as it takes, so it's safe. We've National Grid's taken readings. We'll continue to take readings with them. There's no high levels of any kind of gas in any of the buildings, but we're going to make sure everything's safe before we allow people back in. We expect to do that shortly.
Has this ever happened before?
This type of incident,
Hold on 1 second.
this particular type, there are times over years where there may have been some covers lift off, but haven't had this in a while.
Could you just talk about what you responded to and what this scene looked like when you got here?
Well, I wasn't initially here, but a report from our chief that was here, they were investigating an odor in this 300 Richmond Street. And they isolated it to an outside manhole. And we had National Grid respond, and they were checking for readings in the manhole. And at that point in time, they backed up, and we had a small explosion in that manhole cover.
This was kind of a pretty spectacular scene. I mean, I saw one of them explode, and this could have been a lot worse for your guys who were responding. Your
could have been.
Men and women who were responding. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, we usually take safety pretty strong to our heart. So we usually watch what's going on, and we really try to keep everybody back and keep everyone safe at that point in time, and just bring in a few people just to assess the situation, and we back up. You know, and we call the professionals to come in and see what's going on.
Can you just talk about the force with which some of these explosions and fire happen? I mean, some of your firefighters were saying manhole covers were...
Well, I wasn't here at the time, so I can't speculate on how high they went. But, you know, it depends on how much gas is built up inside the vault, which will determine how high that manhole cover will actually fly into the air. I wasn't here, so I can't really tell you.
Now, some of your firefighters, well, one that I spoke to said they almost were hit by one of those. Did they even describe it to you? I know you weren't here personally.
Well, they were in close proximity to the explosion, but he backed off in enough time not to get hurt.
Why did they back off? Was it the smoke?
Just the readings that we were getting in the manhole.
So that was even before the smoke started coming. You were getting readings, and that's why they backed up.
We were just getting readings at that point in time.
Did you have any information about the two that were injured?
No, I do not. Well, I know that there's 2 people that have been transported. I don't know the extent of their injuries.
Men, women, young, old, anything?
I don't have that information right now.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Yep, thank you.